Have you ever had a moment where the world suddenly feels wrong? Not dreamlike, not imaginary, but physically incorrect. Where the room around you seems to stretch too far, like it's breathing. Where voices turn sharp and fast as if they're being played on double speed. Where your own hands feel detached, too light, too distant, almost unreal. You try to focus, you try to ground yourself, but time itself feels unstable. Seconds racing forward, then dragging endlessly, and you're trapped inside your mind, watching reality accelerate beyond your control. One moment everything is normal. The next, it feels like you've slipped into a different version of existence. This isn't imagination. It isn't a nightmare. And it isn't madness, at least not in the way we usually define it. This experience has been reported for decades, whispered about in medical forums, buried in case studies, and dismissed as anxiety more times than anyone can count. But it has a name, Tachysensia, a rare and deeply unsettling distortion of perception where the human brain suddenly breaks its own sense of time, speeding it up, slowing it down, or twisting it into something unrecognizable. So the real question isn't what tachysensia is. It's this: why does the human mind have the power to fracture reality so completely? And what happens when that illusion of normal time collapses? The disturbing experience. People who experience tachysensia almost always say the same thing. It's impossible to explain. Because language assumes reality is stable, tachysensia is what happens when it isn't. Some describe it as the world suddenly going into fast forward, people speaking too quickly, movements snapping unnaturally from one position to another. Others experience the opposite, time slowing to an agonizing crawl, where even lifting a finger feels delayed, heavy, wrong. Sounds distort first. A ticking clock becomes thunderous. Footsteps echo longer than they should. A whisper feels violent. Then the body follows. Your hands may feel enormous and/or impossibly small. Your heartbeat becomes hyper-aware. Your thoughts begin racing, not creatively, not productively, but chaotically, colliding before one can even finish forming. And through all of it, there's one terrifying constant. You are fully awake. You know this isn't normal. You know something has gone wrong, but you can't shut it off. For many people, the first episode doesn't happen during trauma. It happens quietly, late at night, in childhood, lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, when the mind has nowhere else to go but inward. That's often when tachysensia strikes. And once you experience it, the memory stays with you, not as fear alone, but as a realization that reality is not as solid as you thought. The science behind a warped reality. Here's the unsettling truth most people never hear. Time does not exist inside your brain the way you think it does. Your brain doesn't perceive time directly. It constructs it. Every second you experience is a stitched-together illusion, built from sensory input, memory, expectation, and emotional state. Under normal conditions, this system is seamless. But under stress, it can fracture. Tachysensia is believed to occur when the brain's temporal processing networks, particularly in the parietal and temporal lobes, become overstimulated or desynchronized. In simple terms, the systems responsible for organizing reality fall out of sync. This often happens during intense anxiety or panic, neurological overload, extreme stress responses, certain migraine or seizure-adjacent states. When this happens, the brain doesn't malfunction randomly. It switches modes. It enters survival mode, and survival mode changes time. Evolution wired humans to perceive time differently during danger. That's why accidents feel slow, why near misses feel stretched. Tachysensia is that ancient survival mechanism firing without an external threat. Your brain floods itself with stress chemicals, norepinephrine, dopamine, amplifying sensory input beyond safe levels. Every sensation becomes too sharp, too fast, too intense. Reality isn't altered, your access to it is. Why children experience it more often. One of the most disturbing patterns surrounding tachysensia is who experiences it first: children. Many adults who report tachysensia say their first episode occurred between the ages of 5 and 12, often without warning, explanation, or understanding. The reason lies in development. A child's brain hasn't fully built its sensory filters yet. The systems that prioritize, dampen, and stabilize perception are still under construction. So when stress hits, or when the mind turns inward in silence and darkness, the brain can easily overload itself. Nighttime becomes the perfect trigger. Less sensory input, more imagination, more internal awareness. The mind fills the void. And sometimes it fills it too fast. Is tachysensia dangerous? Here's where the story takes a darker turn. Medically speaking, tachysensia is not classified as a degenerative condition. It doesn't eat away at the brain. It doesn't leave visible scars on scans. And it doesn't mean psychosis, but that doesn't make it harmless. Because tachysensia doesn't injure the brain, it reprograms fear. The first episode often ends without warning. Reality snaps back into place. Time normalizes, sounds settle, but the person doesn't return to who they were before. What lingers isn't confusion. It's anticipation. Many people report that after experiencing tachysensia once, they begin monitoring their perception constantly, listening too closely to their own thoughts, watching time pass, checking their body for signs. Am I thinking too fast? Does this feel normal? Is it happening again? That hyper-awareness becomes a trigger itself, and slowly, quietly, a new pattern forms. Fear of fear. This is why tachysensia is often linked indirectly to anxiety disorders and panic sensitivity. Not because it causes them, but because it teaches the mind something deeply unsettling. Reality is not guaranteed. Once that belief takes hold, the brain begins scanning for danger everywhere, including within itself. And when your own mind becomes the threat, there is nowhere to run. The twist. Now here's the part most people don't expect. You might be thinking, this is rare, this doesn't apply to me. But the mechanism behind tachysensia is something you experience far more often than you realize. Have you ever driven somewhere and suddenly realized you don't remember the last few minutes? Have you ever felt time slow during fear, or vanish during deep focus? Have you ever had a moment where your thoughts spiraled faster than you could control? Those are cracks in the same system. Tachysensia isn't a foreign malfunction. It's an exaggeration of a normal process, the brain's constant manipulation of time. Your mind doesn't passively observe reality. It edits it. It compresses boring moments, stretches emotional ones, sharpens danger, softens repetition. Most of the time, this editing is seamless. But under pressure, under stress, under fear, the editor panics. And when it does, the illusion of time collapses. This is why people who experience tachysensia often describe it as existentially disturbing, not just frightening, because it reveals something most people never consciously face. Time is not external, it's internal. And that means the world you experience is always one neurological shift away from becoming something unrecognizable. So the next time time feels strange, when minutes disappear or seconds stretch, understand this. It isn't the universe behaving oddly. It's your brain doing what it has always done, constructing reality in real time, based on survival, memory, and emotion. Tachysensia is not proof that something is wrong with you. It's proof that perception itself is fragile. And once you realize that, a far more disturbing question emerges. If your brain can distort time so completely, what else has it been quietly altering without you noticing? And that is why you need to watch this video on why your brain creates false memories next.